Yes, people, welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the propaganda machine. This is All Tingz Arsenal episode 22. And in today's episode, sorry there, that was on in the background. But yeah, today's episode, we got a lot of things to look at. We got to look at whether Noni Madueke is the best right winger in the Premier League, because that is what's being said. We also got to take a look at a recap of the Nottingham Forest game. Arsenal winning that game quite comfortably. Sorry, 1 second, people. There it is, much better. We also got to take a look at today's game because Arsenal travelled to Spain to play Athletic Club. So there's a lot of things to actually look at. But first and foremost, I hope you're all well. And yeah, I hope you're all goodness. We don't like the ops here, but the ops are always welcome. Ops are always welcome, man. So, first things first, take a look at Arsenal women. So the women won, making it 2 wins from 2 on the weekend, beating West Ham 5-1. I put 5 on it. Booker T, 5 times, 5 times, 5 times, 5 times, 5 times. 5-1. They actually, West Ham took the lead in that game. Arsenal went behind, and if you saw that goal, oh my lord, Daphne Van Domselaar done the Onana impression. This was the best impersonation I've seen of Onana in the history of football. The balls come into the box. The West Ham, whoever it is, right back, right winger, they've crossed the ball into the box. Simple catch for a goalkeeper. She makes an absolute meal of it. Gets both hands on the ball. The ball drops out of her hand, hits the post, and then she's flapping about and she slaps the ball into the net. You're thinking, oh no, what else could go wrong here? But to be fair, the women, they were very, very comfortable. 5-1 goals from Blackstenius, Caitlin Ford, 5 different goal scorers. It was very, very comfortable, man. Yes, man. Big up to my brother Don C, man. Big up, man. I hope you're well, my broski, man. I hope you're well, man. So yeah, in the end, the girls come out comfortable victors. Frida Marnham, Blackstenius, Caitlin Ford, Alessia Russo, 2 goals from her. Very comfortable win for our girls who sit top of the WSL. Hopefully, they're able to bring it home this year. Because Chelsea's won it like 5 years in a row. I don't want to see that no more. I don't want to see Chelsea winning that league again. Because they're making it look like an absolute joke. But yeah, big up to our girls though. I always have to touch on them. Champions of Europe. We can't say that as the men, sadly. But the women, they've won the Champions League twice. They might have to just lend us one, you know. It's getting to that stage. I think the women's going to have to lend us a Champions League, you know. I'm here just praying. All of us Arsenal fans, we're just waiting for the day we can say, Champions of Europe, you never sing that. Hey, I'm just wish, man, car. You know, when you meet Chelsea fans, that's the first thing they say. The first thing Chelsea fans say is, Arsenal, you never won the Champions League. We're the biggest in London. Only club in London to win the Champions League. Even Tottenham has Europa. Cup Winners' Cup, you can say that's the equivalent, but most of you weren't born in 1993, I believe it was, so it might have been 94. I don't think I was even born, so yeah, man. Moving on. We got a recap on that Nottingham Forest game. We got to at least touch on it briefly, because I've done a few shows done my previews. Yeah. Of course, it was a very, very entertaining game. 3-0 winners Arsenal. And it was one of them games where there was flicks, there was tricks, there was attacking football, attacking intent. Gyökeres got on the score sheet. Madueke looked lively. Eze got an assist, no 007 for him. Obviously, Madueke still on course for 007, but he's looking good. He is looking good. And that brings me sort of to the question that is being asked. Is Noni Madueke the best right winger in the league? People, make sure you're smashing the like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And make sure you vote on the poll. Vote on the poll. Is Noni Madueke the best right winger in the league right now? On current form, as they would say. So, I saw a clip of this earlier. Joel Bayer, Joel from Cheeky Sport, you might know him, you might have seen him on Rio Ferdinand's podcast, does like to say a lot of crazy things. You could say another regal. They say reckless things for no reason. Unprovoked, may I add. I don't even think no one... yeah. You know when people just say reckless things, unprovoked, I always question, why would you even bring this up? Why would you bring it to light? Because now people are gonna be after Noni Madueke. We all know as Arsenal fans, I'd say 95% of the fan base did not want this signing. But game by game, he's starting to look at home in an Arsenal shirt. It's just that final piece missing, the G&A. That is what's missing. But I remember last season. I watched it was Wolves versus Chelsea. Chelsea won that game 6-3. Noni Madueke got a hat-trick and 2 assists, I believe, in that game. And you're looking at that like, okay, he looks like a player. He actually looks like a player, but I always had a question mark over him. I always had the question, will Noni Madueke be able to do it in an Arsenal shirt? Will Noni Madueke be able to do it on a consistent basis? That is what I was asking myself. And he proved he could not do it over a 38 game at Chelsea. Now people are already saying, it's the system. Chelsea are crap. Arsenal, he'll be able to flourish. Look at him now. I'm looking at him. Against Nottingham Forest, granted, I think he was very, very good. But it was just that final end product that was missing. A lot of the time he got to the byline and tried to pull it back and the defender will block it. So if we're going to start saying he's the best right winger in the world just for dribbling, then I want to know what people are saying about Jeremy Doku. Because Jeremy Doku does the exact same thing. Dribble, 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 dribble. And we criticise his end product and decision making in the final third. So you got to seriously ask yourself, if you're going to go down this rabbit hole, be ready and prepared to back your chat. Because if this boy lets you down, I don't want to hear you flip-flopping. I don't want to hear people flip-flopping. Because me, I don't want him. But he's looking like it might be a good signing. But it's only been one game. Because I say it's only been one game. He looked alright against Liverpool. People were saying he was our best player. No. He was our best forward. He was our best forward. The best players were, what's his name? Mosquera and Gabriel. They done their job in defence. They stopped Liverpool having anything meaningful troubling David Raya's goal. That's what they done. The one goal came from a wonder free kick. We saw Szoboszlai, he couldn't do it again against Burnley. Similar free kick, it weren't similar circumstances or similar outcomes. So, if you're one of these people that are going too far and say Noni Madueke is the best right winger in the league, or you're making apologies, I would say to you, calm down. This time last season, I believe he already had 4 goals and 2 assists, and he was doing what he's doing from a terrorizing point of view, causing havoc. So, just calm down, people. Calm down. Let the boy perform. There's no need to put pressure on him. There's no need to say he's the best right winger. What, Salah doesn't exist? You can say Salah hasn't been the best this season, but he just scored a winning goal. He just won Liverpool 3 points. Does that not count? What? Ismail Assar? He's not been cooking as well. You haven't seen it. Maybe people haven't watched other clubs. They're just living in the Arsenal bubble. What? Mohamed Kudus weren't cooking. And these not actually have the numbers to back up the performances. So, just calm down, people, and let Madueke perform. I'm sure if he continues on this trajectory, it's a positive trajectory. But just calm down, please, please. Because I don't want to have to answer questions about him, because I don't want to be negative. I only want to be positive. But yeah, man, that's kind of my take on whether Noni Madueke is the best right winger in the league. Let me see the poll. What the poll? Okay, we got a hell no. Hell no. People ain't voting, but we got a vote. They're saying hell no. And I agree. But yeah, people, we'll move on. Arsenal, we play a game today against Athletic Club in the Champions League. First game of the Champions League. Very excited. They actually had tickets on sale for Red members. So if you're one of those Red members that got to go, big up to you, man. I looked at it, I see the ticket, but then I was like, it's probably too short notice to get out to Spain. But if you're one of these people that are lucky enough to go, I hope you enjoy the game, and I hope Arsenal can give you a performance that matches your experience in Spain. So we're going to take a look at team news. We're going to take a look at team news because Mikel Arteta, he done a press conference earlier I believe it was yesterday, and he spoke about quite a few things, like 1-2 players that are out of the game. So I'll go and I'll bring it up now. So basically saying the boss was asked about being back in his homeland, using last season's disappointment to push us forward, injury updates, and much more. Here is everything he had to say. So, on the feeling in the camp ahead of the new European campaign, we're excited to start again. I'm not going to do a Spanish accent, by the way. From scratch in a beautiful place, in a stadium that is going to generate something special. We're looking forward to that, and I'm very excited again to step by step build some momentum and start to have some wins. On team news, so here's the team news. Gabriel Jesus, Kai Havertz, Ben White, and Martin Odegaard are still out, unfortunately. So as we know, Jesus, Havertz, and obviously Odegaard, he's just gone down. He looks like he's going to be out for a number of weeks. And Ben White, I believe, was he on the bench for the last game? I feel like he might have been on the bench for the last game, but he's not available. On the games becoming more around set pieces. Yeah, don't ask him about set pieces. It's the evolution of the game. The game is faster, the spaces are smaller, and everybody's trying to take advantage of other aspects of the game that are obviously key to winning football matches. In the end, you have to dominate everything nowadays in football to give yourself the best chance to win games. And then says on whether he feels the rivalry towards him being an ex-Sociedad player. He said, yes, of course. We landed in Bilbao. That's normally where I land when I go back home to San Sebastian. It's an hour's drive from there. All my family is from there. And you just sense the passion, the rivalry, the football atmosphere. It's great to be here. I've never been in this stadium before, so it's a good experience. On whether Martin Odegaard is with the travelling party, no, he's back home. Then they ask on whether he will rotate this season. It will depend on the availability of the squad and the form of the players. Unfortunately, we have a few players out already, so that is already limited in certain positions. But hopefully we've come to the point where the competition and the level of performance of the players is so high that we are able to do that very efficiently to win more football matches. That is our objective. And then he goes on to talk about whether Gyökeres will be rotated. Well, let's see. Against Forest at the end, Mikel Merino played as the 9. We have Trossard who can play there. We have other options and other formations that we can adjust to that. At the moment, Victor's doing really well, so I'm happy with that. Then he goes on to talk about Bukayo Saka and his injury. I think there are still quite a lot of things to go through. It's very early to understand when and which week he's going to be available. But he will certainly be pushing to be available as quickly as possible. The last bit I'll talk about is they basically ask him if he will go one step further and win the Champions League. He said, yeah, like the rest of the teams that have done the same, strengthen and continue to do that and have won it on many occasions. That is the aim in the beginning, but we all know that it's going to be a really long journey. The margins in this competition are super small and you have to be at your very best from day one to give yourself the best possible chance. And I'm trying to see, there's no news on William Saliba. No news on William Saliba, but I believe William Saliba might be fit for this game. Him and Saka, we might see both of them on the bench. That is just a hunch for me because I believe they both travelled. He did not rule out William Saliba or Bukayo Saka. So you might just see them. I don't expect them to start. I think that would be stupid, quite frankly, if I see them starting. But I would like to see them at least be on the bench. Whether they get minutes, I don't know. I'd like to see them get minutes just in preparation for that Man City game because that is a big, big game for us to put a marker down on the weekend. Sunday, 4:30 at the Emirates Stadium. Will Arsenal be able to put Manchester City to the sword once again like they did last season? I hope so. I really hope so. But with that being said, I'll go into my predicted lineup for the game. And I'll put it up for you so you guys can see it. So, for me, I'd have David Raya in goal. Urian Timber, Mosquera and Gabriel. Then I'd bring in Miles Lewis-Skelly for Calafiori. I don't want Calafiori to be playing all these games because we know he has a horrific injury record, does Calafiori. So there's no point trying to play him in back-to-back games. There's no point in that. It won't end well. He'll probably get injured. So I'd bring in Miles Lewis-Skelly. Zubimendi, I'd play him there in the 6. Declan Rice, and Wanyeri in the midfield positions, and then I'd keep the front three, Madueke, Gyökeres and Eze. So I'd only make 2 slight changes. That would be Rice for Marino and Miles Lewis Skelly for Calafiori. Will we play the same team? I don't know. But I'd hope that we don't play the same team. I'd hope that at least we try to switch it up. That's what I want to see, because not every game needs the same lineup. Sometimes you need to change, chop and change. Consistency, yes, it's a good thing, but we've seen we're already getting injuries. Every game, somebody goes down. So now we don't need no more of that, because literally it's getting worrying. Why is everyone going down every game? Is this becoming a problem? But luckily and thankfully, we have the squad depth to deal with that. Because if I told you that Odegaard, Saliba, Saka, Havertz, Jesus would all be missing for the 4th game of the season, you'd be thinking, oh no. If I told you they'd all be missing for the Man City game, we'd all be worried. And Ben White as well, we'd definitely be worried. So I'm glad that we've addressed the strength and depth. But now we need to go and get over the line, because that is the last hurdle that Arteta needs to do. Get over the line. But yeah, people, we'll now take a look at the game, how I feel that's going to go. So we know Athletic Club, we played them in pre-season. They do not look like a good team. They look absolutely shocking. Did I go to that game? No, I went to the Villarreal game, but they looked so bad in that game. It was very, very easy. One of our easiest pre-season games. And Gyökeres, I believe that's where we got his first goal for Arsenal, even though it weren't competitive. But I believe he's going to score again. I believe he will score again. And from what I saw from them, they're very poor defensively. Their midfield is not the best. Nico Williams, on his day, he can cause you trouble. Inaki can cause you trouble. So you can't just overlook Athletic Club. But at the same time, Arsenal should be winning this game reasonably comfortable. Remember, this is the same Bilbao that got beat 3-0 by Manchester United. And as we know, Manchester United is a poor side. So we should be putting them to the sword. Again, just like in pre-season. And I want to see Madueke try and get on the score sheet. Madueke or Eze, I'd like to see them get a goal in this game. That will be very, very, very good. And my score prediction in this game, I don't know if we're going to fill our boots. I don't know if it's going to be as easy as the Emirates. I'm looking at a 1-0, but to be more positive, as I predicted yesterday on Don C's channel, I'll go with 2-0 to Arsenal. And I'm going with a Gyökeres and Ethan Wanyeri goal. So Gyökeres and Ethan Wanyeri to score the goals. Hopefully that happens. Maybe you might go put a pound on it. Arsenal to win 2-0. Gyökeres first and Wanyeri last scorer. I might even go do the same. Just see what the odds are. Might be maybe 50-1. Can't go wrong. Put a pound on that. So that game is at 5:45 here to pre. 5:45 kickoff this evening. So now that being said, I think that's kind of it really. That's kind of it. So people, bit of a quick one today. We've touched on most topics. I don't want to bore you. But catch me on the match reaction later. And also, I'll be back around 10 o'clock, same time tomorrow, with the Champions League recap, where others will be free to join. I'm meant to be doing it after the game today, but I'll be busy. But people, I hope you enjoy a blessed day, and come on, you Gunners, let's go and get the win. Kickstart our Champions League journey. Peace, people.